Hey everybody, Aaron Dillon here, Managing Director of AG Dillon Co. Here is June 14, 2024's pre-IPO stock update. Mistral AI, a French tech startup which has large language models, raised $645 million in a funding round, bringing its valuation to $6.2 billion. This funding, led by General Catalyst and including investors like NVIDIA, Salesforce, and IBM, adds to the $113 million from its seed round last year, with total funding exceeding $1 billion in less than a year. Mistral AI, with 60 employees, aims to challenge OpenAI and expand globally. CEO Arthur Minch emphasized the company's growth and independence. The startup, founded by ex-Google and Meta researchers, is developing large language models for applications that are compliant with the EU's AI regulatory requirements. OpenAI, the AI large language model provider, announced an annualized revenue has surged to $3.4 billion, doubling from $1.6 billion in late 2023 and tripling from $1 billion in mid-2023. This rapid growth, driven largely by subscriptions and API access, positions OpenAI's valuation around $86 billion, or roughly 25 times its forward revenue. Revenue from Microsoft Azure contributes $200 million annually. In comparison, rivals like Anthropic and Cohere lag significantly with annualized revenues of $100 million and $22 million, respectively. OpenAI plans to boost revenue further with new products, including search engine and video generating models. OpenAI has partnered with Apple to integrate ChatGPT into iPhones, iPads, and Macs. Apple isn't paying OpenAI as part of the partnership, as they believe that pushing OpenAI's brand and technology to hundreds of millions of Apple's devices is equal to or greater value than monetary payments. OpenAI subscription plans start at $20 per month, and if paid through Apple payment system, will generate revenue for Apple too. So there is kind of a way for the companies to monetize. OpenAI and Apple agreement isn't exclusive. Apple's in talks with Google, Gemini, and Anthropic, two other large language model providers. So net, I believe this is a really smart deal for OpenAI. They certainly get a lot of new users, and the data that they obtain, even if it's just kind of like the metadata, it's not the actual like personal data, will be very valuable in maintaining their edge on the quality of their AI large language model. Lastly, OpenAI has appointed Sarah Friar, former CEO of Nextdoor Holdings, as CFO, filling the role after 2 years. And Kevin Wheel, with prior experience at Instagram and Twitter, is the new Chief Product Officer. The C-suite expansion comes as OpenAI increased revenue by selling AI services to enterprise clients and enhancing its consumer chatbot app. Friar, also a board member at Walmart and former CFO of Square, will help grow OpenAI's global business. Wheel, previously at Planet Labs PVC, will lead product development. The company is working to boost revenue from its artificial intelligence products by selling services to enterprise customers, while also adding features like enhanced voice capabilities to its consumer chatbot. OpenAI has a $103.8 billion secondary market valuation. That's up 21% versus its April 2024 round. Brex, an online banking company for businesses, has restructured its leadership ahead of a potential IPO, appointing Pedro Franceschi as sole CEO, while co-CEO Henrique Dubras has become chairman. Founding in 2017, Brex has raised over $1.5 billion and serves over 30,000 customers, including DoorDash and Roblox. The company laid off 20% of its staff this year, reducing cash burn by 50% and extending its runway to 4 years. Brex aims to be cash flow positive by 2025. Revenue grew over 35% in 2023, and gross profit was up 75%. That's awesome. Despite competition from Ramp and Mercury, those are two other kind of online banking providers for businesses in kind of the private pre-IPO space. Brex offers no primary fundraising, but may offer secondary sales before going public. Brex has a $3.8 billion secondary market valuation. It's down 69% from its January 2022 round. PG&E, the California electric utility, reports that new data centers planned for Silicon Valley could add 3.5 gigawatts of electricity demand. That's surpassing the output of 3 nuclear power plants. The San Francisco Bay Area, home to tech giants like Meta, Alphabet, and Apple, has over 24 data center projects in the next 5 years, with more than half in just San Jose alone. 19 commercial customers are competing for these projects. The rise in artificial intelligence has spiked data center demand, contributing to PG&E's expected annual electricity demand growth of 2 to 4% through 2040. driven by data centers, electric cars, electrified buildings. I believe that electricity is going to be one of the best commodity investments of our generation. Demand for compute will drive data center growth and subsequently electricity demand. A lot of money will be made here for a savvy investor, in my opinion. Databricks, the data management, analytics, and AI company, is launching AI/BI, a new visualization tool to compete with Salesforce Tableau and Microsoft's Power BI. The tool integrates AI for automatic chart and graph generation from typed queries, will be free for customers. So unlike its competitor offering that charge fees, the AI will continuously learn from individual customer data enhanced by the team from Mosaic ML, which Databricks recently bought. Many Databricks users are currently exporting information from Databricks into other software to create graphics. So Databricks believes that keeping it all within their environment will allow customers to have fresher data and simpler controls. Of course, free is always better than having to pay for something too. Databricks has also announced revenue figures at their Data and AI Summit this week. The company projects annualized revenue of $2.4 billion by mid-2024, a 60% increase from the previous year. In the first 6 months of 2024, revenue growth contrasts with the broader software industry struggles due to economic conditions. Databricks reported $1.6 billion in revenue for their fiscal year in 2023, with 50% annual revenue growth and an annualized run rate of $1.5 billion. The company saw 221 transactions over $1 million and net revenue retention exceeding 140%. Research and development spending was 33% of revenue over the last 3 years, while subscription gross margins were over 80%. The data warehouse product, which they launched in 2020, generated $400 million in annualized revenue. And Databricks recently invested over $1 billion to acquire Tabular, which is enhancing its data management capabilities. Databricks has a $42.8 billion secondary market valuation. That's now 1% from its November 2023 round. All right, let's look at pre-IPO stock performance for June 10, 2024. Up this week, we got Chime up 22%, CoreWeave's up 19%, Wiz is up 13%, Cohere is up 11%, Scale AI is up 8%. Down this week, OpenAI down 5%, Epic Games down 4%, Deal down 3%, ByteDance down 2%, and Notion down 2%. Top valuations, you got ByteDance at $292 billion, SpaceX at $191 billion, OpenAI is at $104, Stripe's at $76 billion, and Databricks is at $43 billion. You can see more current valuation and performance data on X at Aaron G. Dillon. It's tag. All right, let's look at AG Dillon Pre-IPO Stock Vintage Indexes as of June 10, 2024. 2024 Vintage Index top contributors since inception. Rippling's at 106%. Revolut's up 52%. Epic Games up 44%. Klarna's up 43%. Anduril's up 27%. Please note, though, we updated our current secondary market valuation for Epic Games as we received some new price information this week. So now we have Epic Games at $19.8 billion valuation versus where it was at prior at 28.3. So that's a big swing. So if you have questions, drop me an email and I'll let you know. If you need any more information, I can give you the details there. There were no detractors in the 2024 Vintage Index. Key metrics for all vintages over 5 years old: 3.31 DPI, 2.05 RVPI, 5.36 TVPI, and 4.1 years to quote-unquote return the fund from the index. To see summary and annual vintage specific data and fact sheets for the AG Dillon Pre-IPO Stock Vintage Indexes, please visit agdillon.com/index. Okay, that's it for me this week. If you have any pre-IPO stock research needs, please reach out. Thanks, and see you guys next week.